Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, the best community ever. Yes. So I was going to do a drive video for you guys yesterday. However, I had like a big coughing fit. So I'm like, well, I don't have editing software at work when I upload this thing, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, so that's my thing there. Well, not much going on out there in the gaming world. Everyone seems to be nice and happy with each other. Kumbaya, sitting by the campfire, strumming their guitars, and just everyone getting along. It's just great time. Nope. Total Poo Show. That's right. Total Poo Show. So, yeah, Okay. So if you're not aware, Jason Schreier from Kotaku, who I will start this out and say is like one of the only game journalists that I actually like, and I don't think is overly spinning narrative out there, but actually doing journalism. For the most part, I like his stuff. And then some other stuff I'm just like, yeah, buddy, I don't agree. But hey, you know what? We all have different opinions. That's what makes us human. If we all agreed on the same thing all the time, well, life would just be boring, wouldn't it? Anyways. So, yeah, he did a whole piece about, BioWare and the crunch time, and he had 19 anonymous sources telling him about the bad things and the bad working conditions at BioWare and how it's pretty much like working at Auschwitz and just it's horrible and it's bad. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying there isn't issues with crunch time. There is and are issues within the entire industry when it comes to hours worked on projects and this, that, or the other thing. So I came out in dissent against his article because I found it to be nothing more than a hit piece. And my biggest reason for that is instead of just going, and there's some things where he just got it flat out wrong, calling Anthem, and I think even Mass Effect Andromeda actually wasn't that bad when you look at the current numbers and stuff. And I think it was like an article a couple months ago that came out talking about how Mass Effect Andromeda really wasn't that bad and how, it probably didn't deserve all the criticism that it got, even though some of it was quite deserved. And talking about how like Anthem's a failure, which the numbers say it's not. And the majority of gamers or its player base would disagree with him on that one. And just reading other people's stuff about him and getting more into him, he's got an axe to grind when it comes to Dragon Age and other stuff like that. Which, is whatever. It is, but he's got to be more truthful. And the whole thing was 11,000 words, and it could have easily been dwelled down to maybe 5,000 words. It reminded me of the quote from Shakespeare's Hamlet that the queen said, "Methinks the lady doth protest too much." Which, kind of like when someone complains too much about something, you're just like, okay, there's something going on, and it's not really what they're complaining about. There's something going on with this person. And that's what just kept ringing through my mind when I was reading all his comments on Twitter afterwards. And BioWare, we also responded in a very mature fashion, trying to explain some stuff here and there and why they did not respond to him for his article, which he took complete total umbrage for. And I think he could have been a bit more classy when it came to some stuff instead of just throwing out names and calling them cowards and other stuff like that. But here's my thing. When it comes to, and he did drop some names in his article too, but when it comes to anonymous sources, and I take this with everything, political hit pieces, gaming hit pieces, anything that whenever I hear the word anonymous source, I always take that with old guy, move your car over, with a giant grain of salt, because I trust, I trust my ability to throw Rosie O'Donnell really far just as much as I trust my ability, an anonymous source. Those you have to always take with a grain of salt because you never know the variables behind that. If it was an actual source, the variables behind that actual source. And you don't know whether they're, an estranged employee. You don't know whether they're an employee who has an axe to grind. You don't know if they're an actual employee. You don't know who they are. You don't know if it's just made up in the reporter's head and he's just putting it out there to give him some credibility for something or something to fit his piece of narrative. I think this is something we've been seeing a lot recently, even in the mainstream media, with this, and them being found out about it. And I'm not saying that he's lying, I'm not, but I'm just saying from my perspective as someone who is a skeptic and who likes to research things before, get all sides of the story before I make an official judgment on something. And I believe patience is a virtue. I believe that his piece was nothing more than a hit piece against BioWare and against Anthem itself. And, if you like the game, party on. If you don't like the game, party on. You play what you want to play. You pay for what you want to pay for. I don't care. And I think that's how it should be. But I think he would have done a far better service for the gaming community as a whole because honestly, all this did was drive an even bigger wedge between and divide more people in the community, which is not what you want to do. You want to try to bring us all together to try to fix some of these issues that are there. Are there issues within the industry that need to be fixed? Hell yeah, there are. There are. Is unionizing going to be the key that fixes it all? It'll be a Band-Aid. I responded saying that the industry has a big issue, and someone's like, no, capitalism's the big issue. I'm like, no, because you can thank capitalism for your phone, for the platform upon which you play your games on, for the games you have, for the companies that make the games, so on and so on and so forth. It's not this type of thing and that type of thing. It's leadership. That's the kind of thing. Because you have plenty of businesses out there with great leaders, and you never hear a peep about issues within a company. You don't. But when you have leaders who are not focused on the correct and right thing for their employees and for their community, then yeah, that's when you have issues. So leadership is a big thing that needs to change, and I think Jason would have done a better service for the community in general if he had probably just led off with his BioWare piece, and that dovetailed into how the industry, whether it be with DICE or CD Projekt Red or Rockstar Games or what have you, he would have done a better service if that had dovetailed into another piece on talking about how the industry needs to have a drastic change, especially when it comes to crunch time arenas within the gaming industry and all the hours worked to produce a product, and how a lot of these live service products and other products are just coming out not finished. And I won't disagree with the argument that no, these games are not coming out not finished, because they aren't. They're coming out of the gate not finished, and I get that. And, every game's going to have a bug and a glitch here and there, even no matter how much you work on it. A lot of things will not be seen until she goes live. That's just going to happen. But yeah, should they have taken more time on Anthems, Fallout 76, and other games? Yeah, they should have. And Mass Effect Andromeda? Yeah, they should have. Should EA, invest more in its actual games and its people? Yeah, they should. They should. Because, in the long run, that'll benefit the company, the people, the games, the community far more. Not just on behavioral stance or how people are doing in the company, but also on a monetarily stance. Is that even the right word? Yeah. It is hot in this car. Good Lord. But it helps out in so many ways rather than trying to make the quick buck now. So, that's my thing. But yeah, so, that's just my whole thing on the whole article. I was thinking about doing a whole video on it, but this is it, apparently. I might do another one for it as well. Who knows? I have other things planned for this week. But like all the other things, this article will go away within about a week, and everything will simmer down, and then we will wait for the next big drama mama to hit the fan. And as sad as that is, this is how the cookie crumbles. It is. So, what solutions do you guys think there should be for this? Do you think it was a hit piece? Do you not? Hey, I have talked to people who don't think it's a hit piece, who take it by the golden, take it as, golden gospel truth. Party on. I've taken to people who are more like me, who are more skeptical of it, and want to know all the things rather than just, having to take everything on blind faith, which I think is always stupid. Always research it for yourself. Always don't, whether it's a politician, whether it's Jason Schreier from Kotaku, whether it's a game, it doesn't matter. Never take everything as gospel truth. Test it and research it for yourself. I find, people who take everything blindly to be a fool, honestly. And you have too many sheep like that out in the wilderness nowadays anyways who, news tells me to do something, I read a headline, and that's my gospel truth. Well, did you research it to see if they're actually telling you the truth about whatever it is they're talking about? No, I don't need to do that. No, you do. If you want to be well informed in this world about whatever it is, you need to do the research on it. You need to do the footwork on it. That's just my thing. That's just where I am. That's where I lay my head at night. And I'm never going to change that because I have been found that is the correct way to live life. Because that helps you. It does. It does. And I also think that everyone fighting amongst themselves is also kind of stupid as well. And I don't know. It's the internet, right? And you have a bunch of keyboard warriors out there who are willing to do whatever they have to do to puff their chests out as much as they need to puff their chests out to try to get their point across because, they're a fanboy of this, that, or the other thing. So that's just my 2 cents on that one. I know I've been asked about it in emails what I think about the whole situation. So that's what I think about the whole situation right there. There it is. And we're just going to keep moving forward. That's what we are going to do. We're going to move forward. We're going to play the games we love. I'm going to report on the things I love. And it's just a journey. We'll see where everything goes. I don't know. Anyways, my friends, have a good one. Hit that like button if you like what you see here. This went pretty long. Didn't expect it to, but it did. And friends, we'll have a good one. We'll hopefully we'll punch out a video for tomorrow. And remember, I got a 30-day sub prize thing going on soon. It will come out soon. I'll probably drop it on Friday. And to dovetail with what's going on next weekend on the 13th with the SOTOR Cantina. So, guys, I love you. You're great. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share all the things, hit that bell notification button, and my beard will bless you and grant you eternal life. My friends, goodbye. Good day. Hello.